Hello, Fresno. This is Fabian Molina with CPC, Advising and Consulting. We're back at our office today doing some carpentry and doing some odds and ends. But I wanted to make this video because I've been meeting a lot of clients over the last few weeks, and they all ask me kind of the same question, like what sets me apart? What experience do I have to be giving people advice and consulting them on their jobs? So I wanted to make this so I could give people a little background about my history in the industry and also how the idea for this advising and consulting company came about. So my career started in the early 2000s. I began working for a contractor here in Fresno, a friend of the family's, old school Mexican guy, no nonsense kind of guy, very hands on, very knowledgeable guy. And I ended up working for him for about 2 years. During that time, because I had no experience whatsoever when I first started, I was, doing all the grunt work, digging trenches, carrying heavy materials all over the place, being the errand boy, so to speak. But I also, that's when I realized that I really enjoyed the construction industry. This contractor would often take me to job sites, gave me a description of what needed to be done, and gave me the tools and the materials and said, have at it. And he pushed me to learn a lot of things. He pushed me to explore a lot of things on my own. And it was just a great learning experience. Working for him during those 2 years, we built a couple of houses from the ground up. And before that, I had never even seen a set of blueprints. And because he didn't speak any English, he had me translate them. And over, those two projects, I was able to understand construction blueprints well enough to know that I enjoyed doing that. I enjoyed looking at the directions on how to build something and then building it. So after working for him for those 2 years, I decided that I wanted to improve my skills, maybe get some training. So I did. I looked for somewhere where I could get some hands on training or a vocational program. I ended up going to Workforce Connection here in Fresno, where they enrolled me into the construction management program at Fresno City College in Fresno State. I ended up going to Fresno City first to work on my undergrad classes and also on my emphasis, which was architecture. So I was able to learn architecture at Fresno City College and CAD, which is computer aided drafting. And then later, after I finished there, I went off to Fresno State to continue my education. And while I was at Fresno State working on my degree, I I started a small handyman business where I was looking for something where I could go to school and have some income to be able to help me out during that time. So I did. During the time I wasn't in school, I was doing handyman work all over Fresno, and I did that for about 4 years. I've been up and down the Central Valley working on. I worked on hundreds of different types of projects, hundreds of different types of houses, um, a lot of small repairs, a lot of small installations, replacements, faucets, light fixtures, pool equipment, roofing repairs, facial, I mean, all sorts of things. Everything that can go wrong in a house. Well, at that time, I was fixing it. So I spent 4 years doing that. And during that time is, where I gained a lot of hands-on experience and a lot of knowledge on how systems in a house work. And what I mean by systems is, your plumbing system, your electrical system, your flooring system. And I was able to understand because I was involved in so many different types of small repairs. I was able to understand different brands, different types of installation. Some were just uh, really old types of installations. And so I gained a lot of experience during those 4 years, um, which kind of combined with the information that I had learned in school, and it made me improve my skills. After working for myself for those 4 years, I worked for a couple of small contractors, and then I found work with a construction developer or a custom home builder here in Fresno. where I started off as a field technician, again doing the same thing, doing repairs and stuff like that. But shortly after, I was promoted to quality control manager, and that's where I did for the remainder of my time there. I was there for about 4 years, and it was during that time that I learned all my skills as a general contractor. We were building multi-million dollar homes in Fresno and multiple projects at the same time. I was in charge of finishing off the homes, making sure that everything was done correctly and that the homeowners were moved in and that everything worked properly. And during the process of the project, I was coordinating with subs, vendors, and doing some of the work myself. That's where I learned to do a lot of the custom, high-end type of work, where I took crews and we did projects that other contractors couldn't do or didn't have the time to do. So I also was hands-on on a lot of these things. And again, these were large multi-million dollar projects where the quality of the work has to be very, very high. There's not a lot of room for error. So I developed those skills as a contractor there. And then in 2019, I decided that I wanted to go to work for myself. And so I did. I got my contractor license, and I've been working as a general contractor ever since. I've taken on all sorts of different projects over the years. A lot of kitchen and bathroom upgrades, remodels, and renovations. I've done additions. We've done some commercial work, office tentative improvement work. We've done some personal gyms, some commercial gyms, tennis courts, basketball courts, all sorts of things. Um, and over this time, what I have developed is the skills to interact with people and the skills to interact with employees and manage a company. Um, and during the time that I was at Fresno State is actually when the idea for advising and consulting business came about. I bounced it back and forth from to a lot of my colleagues at the time and to a couple of my professors. They all thought it was a good idea. It's just that I didn't have enough of the knowledge and common understanding to how to put together the business. So it's taken me a little bit of time to bring it to reality, but that's why we're here today. Is because all the experience that I've gathered over the years as a contractor, as an installer, and also all the experience dealing with homeowners and vendors and other contractors has led me to here today, where this business is created for homeowners and for people that don't have a really good understanding of how construction works, and they're sort of afraid or they don't want to really take on projects because they're afraid that something's going to go really wrong or something's going to be so expensive or overwhelming. And over the years, I've had a lot of my own clients express that frustration that there hasn't ever been a place where you can go and just ask questions or just talk to someone without the commitment of having to hire a contractor. And that's why ClearPath Construction Advising and Consulting is here today, is because we wanted to create this resource for our clients and for the community to be able to come into a place where you're not we're not going to tie you into a contract to do anything before we start talking to you about your project or giving you information on how to solve it yourself. We want to be able to be an open source and be affordable to people. We offer a lot of types of services and DIY classes here in our office, but we want to make it affordable. We want to be able to have people that want to do it themselves and to try to save money. So that's the idea, to try to save money. And we're doing this by giving people that information, that knowledge, that understanding. And for the people that are not comfortable with power tools, they're not comfortable dealing with other contractors, then we could help you manage your job. We could oversee them, and obviously we could help you plan them, put them together, and hopefully we could create a roadmap so you could do it yourself. But again, we are uh, we are here for all types of different services for the community. So anyway, well, this is a little bit of background about me. and how this came about. And I hope it makes sense to people. I hope people understand what we're trying to do here at ClearPath Construction. So that way you guys could tell your friends, it's like, hey, there's a new place where you can just go and ask questions. If your sprinklers are not working, or your windows are broken, or if your kitchen is a mess and things are falling apart and you want to find someone, or you want to do it yourself, well, you can send them over to us. We'll be able to help clients achieve those things, and give them peace of mind during projects, and give them a little bit of understanding and tools so they can save a little money. So anyway, that's a little bit about me, about ClearPath Construction. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned. I'll make some more videos.